So, let me take you through implementing and managing external identities in Microsoft Azure, something I think is crucial given how much we rely on partnering with various organizations for seamless project delivery. Azure, Microsoft's cloud service, makes this super easy, especially with Azure Active Directory, or Azure AD for short, which is at the heart of this functionality. Azure AD External Identities is like a secure identity gateway that connects your existing internal infrastructure with external users. Think of it as having a door that you only unlock for authorized guests visiting your house. When you have Azure AD External Identities enabled, any external users, be it contractors, partners or customers, can connect with your applications over the internet without ever setting foot in your office. Let's start with Azure AD B2B, which is for businesses that need to work with multiple external organizations. It's like a digital handshake extending beyond company borders. When you enable B2B, Azure checks and recognizes users from invited companies based on the identities they have in their own ads. You are probably wondering, but how do I actually set this up? That's where Azure sets up a kind of digital passport book. It helps authenticate users, but keeps their local credentials secret. It's a way for external users to prove their identities without ever storing that personal info on our end. It's called federation, and it ensures users are who they claim to be while keeping them connected to their home systems. Moving on to Azure AD B2C, this one is for managing the identities of customers for web apps aimed at the general public. It's about making life easier for end users. Think login forms that ask for age or email address, and it'll handle the rest, like identity persistence, from that point on. Now, let's get practical. When setting up Azure AD External Identities, it's important to get it right. Firstly, in Azure Portal, create an Azure AD tenant if you haven't yet. Ensure it meets your size and needs. Azure might gently suggest a different setup for larger deployments. Next, go to Azure Active Directory in the portal, navigate to Enterprise Applications, and click New Application. Select a template, either Enterprise Application or Web Application, based on how you want to use Azure AD External Identities. Creating an app that external users sign into is crucial, as Azure AD External Identities will map external users to internal users using these apps as access points. After setting up an application, it's time to invite partners or customers. You can send invitations using Azure AD Connect Active Directory Hybrid Connection or SharePoint, simple ways to get external user credentials into Azure AD. But remember, when you invite users, they need to have a unique username that will later help map their external identity to their internal ID. For authentication, the guests sign in using their own credentials, and Azure AD connects them to their local identity provider. It's like telling your guests at the door, "We recognize you, and we'll unlock the door, but first, here's your own house key." One important aspect to keep in mind is that Azure AD External Identities support multi-factor authentication. So, you can enhance security by adding extra layers, especially if your external partners are not used to your security processes. Now, managing access, this is where things get even cooler. Azure AD allows you to give external users permission to access specific applications or even their own data if needed, based on roles. But you gotta watch your users closely. If they start trying to do stuff outside their permissions, Azure has your back with monitoring options that keep a sharp eye on any activities. Troubleshooting is super important too. since things can sometimes go sideways. When issues arise, Azure has some tools to help pinpoint what might have gone wrong, whether it's related to authentication, mapping, or access. Security-wise, Azure AD External Identities is a fortress with robust, encrypted connections and compliance to industry standards. Plus, since all the management action happens in Azure, your data center never sees these external users, which is a huge plus. What's important here is to follow best practices, like enforcing strong password policies, setting up regular audits, and keeping everything up to date with security patches, just as you would within your Azure AD environment. To tie this up, implementing and managing external identities using Azure AD External Identities, be it for B2B or B2C, is like creating secure, manageable gateways for external users to access your apps and services. It's a way to expand your digital collaboration while keeping your infrastructure tight and secure. And guess what? This is just the tip of the iceberg, really. If you want to dive deeper into best practices, advanced troubleshooting, and everything's technical goodness with Azure AD External Identities, just head to Neeraj's YouTube channel over to TechLab, where I drop some serious knowledge pills. Subscribe and let me know what gets your creative tech gears turning. Happy secure collaborating, and catch you on the flip side with some more insight from the TechLab. Visit neeraj.qzz.io and subscribe to TechLab for a tech deep dive and to never miss out on what I'm learning. Can't wait to have you in the mix.